Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So, how are y'all doing today?
It's the holidays, and we're reading a Bible at the holidays. Emily is singing in Mandarin in the holidays.
That's a pretty good
trying
song.
to break into I'm trying to make the very difficult leap of breaking into the Christmas song canon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have so many, don't you even worry.
No, but I mean
all
new
the
ones.
alto parts, so
I mean new ones. And I mean a new Christmas song.
Yeah, it's like that coveted spot. You know how like every year on the radio, it's all old songs. It's all the classics, and then there's like two pop songs, like two new Christmas
pop
songs.
Covers, or maybe new-ish.
Yeah, or like
songs.
brand new ones particularly is rare, you know?
That's like what Love Actually is about. He's trying to break in and be Christmas number one.
Right, yeah, totally.
It's awesome. Love
yeah,
it.
and he's even like doing a parody of his own song, which is doubly weird. But
yeah, totally. It is weird.
Yeah.
But it's a blast.
So if you really love Christmas, come on, let it snow. This is shit, isn't it?
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, let us know if
All
you
right.
would vote for Dedeker's song to go on to the top 100 Billboard Christmas charts.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be our last episode of 2019. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, we're taking a little break after this so that we can celebrate the holidays and stuff like that.
No, I'm super excited to take a hot second for ourselves and to just, be with our loved ones during the holidays, which will actually be the two of you, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason and I are flying to Shanghai
Heck
for
yes.
Christmas with Emily. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you, Em. Now, the actual Christmas, biblical Christmas story is quite a ways away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sadly.
A long, long time away. And the irony is that by the time we get to it, it's probably very unlikely it's actually going to link up with Christmas.
I mean, we'll see,
boy,
but
yeah.
You know?
probably not. Yeah.
Probably not. But I'm just wondering, in the States, Christmas is a very religious holiday.
Yeah.
Kind of. A lot of people celebrate Christmas secularly, but of course it has religious ties. What was your feeling about all that growing up? Because you celebrated Christmas growing up, correct?
Yeah, it was just an excuse to give each other presents and have a tree
yeah.
up.
But I'm wondering, what was your perception, though, of the religious side of nativity scenes and things like that?
Well, I knew it was supposedly when Jesus was born, although I thought that theory has been debunked and that he was actually born in July or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems pretty unlikely also that Jesus was actually, birthed on December 25th.
Yeah,
But
probably
yeah.
not. But yeah, so no, I mean, I knew that was happening and that there was a nativity scene and that was all the animals and the, what are they? The wise men, we three kings of Orient are, wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they the three kings? Is that them?
They are the three kings of
Oh,
Orient.
sweet.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
You can't say they are the three kings of Orient are. You say they, the three kings of Orient are.
But yeah, and then, I don't know, I mean, that was basically it. And she was a virgin, Mary and stuff, but he came out anyways.
Real bummer for her.
Yeah. So that was that. I don't know. Yeah, it was a fun time. Again, just a good excuse for presents and stuff. But my grandmother definitely celebrated Christmas in the biblical sense of, I guess, being interested in it as a biblical story.
holding an interest in it.
Yeah,
Well, so
totally.
a lot of Christian kids grow up celebrating a hybrid of both Christian Christmas and secular Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah, definitely.
what does that mean? I'm really interested. Like, I guess
Well-
mine is like super secular, so like I don't even know what else
Yeah.
people do. We went to a candle lighting ceremony once. That was cool. It was at a church. But then I remember my mom being like, "Yeah, that was still a little bit too like." It was a little
Oh,
too
wow.
churchy for me, yeah. Because they did
Yeah.
do some
Yeah.
readings and stuff. We just thought it would be people lighting candles and it would be pretty, but it totally wasn't. Jokes on us. But yeah, please
Yeah.
continue.
Well, okay, secular Christmas is like Santa, reindeer, Christmas tree, you know,
Presents
jingle
and all
bells,
that
presents,
stuff.
all
yeah.
that stuff.
Frosty.
You know, Frosty, yeah. Christian Christmas, pretty solidly birth of Christ, angels, shepherds, wise men, three kings of Orient are.
Yeah, but I mean, mainly though, in practice for most people, it just involves going to church. Well, I mean, probably leading up to it, you know, on Sundays, and so you're getting like the parts of the, like the Advent. You're getting sort of there's like a version of the Advent that just happens on the 4 Sundays leading up to Christmas.
Emily, do you know what the Advent is?
Wait, is it an advent calendar is like for all the days before Christmas and you get to eat like a little cookie or something in the calendar?
Usually starting after Thanksgiving would be like the Advent season, and that's when the pastor would start preaching specifically on the passages that have to do with the lead up to the birth of Christ.
Wow, no, I did
Yeah.
not know
Or-
that. Okay.
Or about, for instance, passages in Isaiah that prophesies the coming of Christ.
What?
So they would
Spoiler
do all
alert.
that.
Dedeker.
Yeah, geez.
You'll
Spoilers. You'll forget.
I don't know that I will. Maybe I will. I probably will.
So it was like that, and then on Christmas we would usually go to a Christmas Eve service.
Which was
Yeah.
the candlelighting one
yeah,
generally.
totally.
Yeah, I don't know if we lit candles. We
Oh,
mostly
that
like
was my favorite part.
It was very beautiful.
I would.
maybe we lit some candles some years. We would sing like some pretty songs,
Like
some pretty
what?
Christmassy songs.
Ooh, like what?
Usually the religious ones.
Silent Night is a classic.
Silent Night, Noel's
Steely
a
Nacht.
classic. Also
Yeah.
a classic.
Also, Steely Dan.
Oh Holy Night. There was always someone who performed Oh Holy Night,
Oh,
and it was
right.
always a gamble of like
If they were any good.
who could hit those high notes without being just like super brassy or not.
Our soprano just can hit that note so effectively every single time here. I'm always so impressed with her because, like, even if she's like, oh, my voice
for
is
her.
tired, she's just like, ah! And it's so good.
Is that what she sounds like?
No, but I'm not warmed up and I'm not going to
Amazing.
do it right now.
But so, in addition to the Advent calendar, there's the Advent candles, which are
what?
lit each of the weeks leading up. And this is something that usually they'll do like in church services leading up to
Right,
it.
I remember now.
Yeah. So there's 4 candles that get lit on the Advent wreath. Is usually how it's done.
We never
and then
had an
there's-
Advent wreath. Jeez.
And then there's the
fancy.
Advent candles, which are usually like big purple candles, because purple
Why
is a
purple?
Bible color.
We didn't have any purple candles. What are you talking about?
I would bet you so much that you had purple candles and you just don't remember. Because purple is like the
I bet she would have
liturgical color.
remembered. She
But
would
we
have
didn't have
remembered.
like liturgy. We were evangelicals. We weren't Catholic.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe
We
not.
were progressive
Yeah, okay.
with our white
Sure.
candles.
No, just the last one's white, usually.
Well, fine.
Because
And
Lo
sometimes
How
one is pink.
Rose, Air, what
Yeah.
is it? Yeah, because he's white as a flower or whatever. Damn it, I don't remember the words to this song unless I'm singing it into.
Okay, I think we need to get to the
Yeah,
Bible.
let's
We need to
get
get
to
to the
some
Bible.
Bible.
Anyways, we're gonna do Joshua. Oh, and what are we drinking? I'm having a wonderful Elvis juice, which is a grapefruit infused IPA.
Again, yeah.
I love it, yes, but the difference is this time I had some real grapefruit juice beforehand, so it's really like enhancing the flavor, I think.
Oh, that's good. It's
Nice.
enhancing and not making it seem weak
Awful.
in comparison.
No,
Yeah.
it's grapefruit on grapefruit. I love it.
Nice.
great.
Jason and I are drinking hot buttered rum.
Yeah.
Very seasonal.
Do you stick butter in it?
No, we use
It's a mix.
It's a pre-made mix. I bet you it would be pretty easy to just make it on your own. I think all you need is brown sugar and butter and rum and hot water. I think that's
Can
it.
you make it with earth balance so it's vegan?
Possibly.
Possibly.
I'm positive that there are vegan hot buttered
Hot buttered
rum
rum. There's
recipes.
gotta be.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'll bet you honestly, even if you
Fun.
if you took out the butter and maybe just added like some salt like some brown sugar, a little bit of salt to get a little bit of that balance out of the flavor.
Yeah, probably be a similar kind
Maybe
of deal.
a dash of coconut milk for the creaminess.
But
Nice.
it's quite nice
All
getting
right.
us in the holiday spirit here. And so today,
Ho, ho, ho.
today before we continue, Emily, can you quickly recap for us what happened last time?
Yes, Jericho, because I talked to people about this. I was like, what was up with that, man? Like, they ran around the freaking, city a bunch and, like, trumpeted a ton. Like, why did nobody try to take them out from, like, the battlements or whatever? But no, that totally didn't happen. And then they yelled a lot, and then the whole city fell down. What the heck?
Yeah.
And Rahab, her family lived. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they also
Yeah.
had their other cool little ambush. Do you remember that one too? Like kind of the next town over or whatever it was.
I don't even remember that one. What happened with the ambush?
Yeah.
That was the one where
Please tell
they
us.
sent some troops over to another city and a few of them got beaten. And so they were like, we're too afraid. And then he's like, no. It's because first of all, it was because Yahweh wasn't blessing them because Achor had, or Achan or
Achan,
whatever,
yes.
Achan at Mount Achor
Yes.
had taken some sort of thing, some precious things, some forbidden things from Jericho. So that had happened. That was one thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so we, of course, killed him. Maybe also killed his children and his wives and all his livestock and everything.
This was like the end of the episode. Yeah.
Right.
Awkward.
But then also...
kind of a downer
Yeah, it really was.
after Jericho.
Yeah. And then there was also that other city nearby whose name I don't remember. Oh, it was Ai. And that city where he said, Joshua sent a troop to go around the city to the other side, but kind of stay nearby. And then he and a smaller force went up to the front. And when they chased him out, they ran away. And all the soldiers chased him. And then the ones lying in wait came into the city and burned it
right.
to the ground. And it was very exciting.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yeah. So Josh has
Sweet.
shown his cunning as well as his ruthlessness in dealing with Achan.
I bet God loves him then.
All right, let's find out as we continue on with Joshua 9, 10, and 11. We want to remind everyone as we start to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink your holiday drinks along with us, or you can listen while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time. And with that, let's jump right into Joshua 9. It happened when all the kings who were beyond the Jordan, in the hill country, and in the lowland, and on all the shore of the great sea in front of Lebanon. Oh, that's a place that I know. The Hittite, and the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite heard of it, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel with one accord.
Oh.
But when the inhabitants... Yeah, I know. What is that? That's interesting. That's cool.
Like everyone else was like, well, okay, you guys are the ones to join.
I was going to say, weren't we fighting all these people just
Yeah.
30 seconds ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah,
they
that's-
gave up. They're like,
guess-
okay, we're on
guess
your
not
side.
anymore.
We're
That's
on your side now.
convenient.
Yeah.
But I'm like, who are they? Who is left to fight then? Seriously.
That's true. Who counts as the Canaanites now?
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. So, but when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard
Hmm.
what Joshua had done to Jericho and to Ai,
That's
They
the one I was
also
just talking about.
yeah, I know. Now I know what you're talking about. It's just funny that it's spelled that way. So they also resorted to a ruse and went and made as if they had been ambassadors and took old sacks on their donkeys and
Wait, hold on,
wine
hold on.
skins.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Back
I
it
don't know
up.
what's happening either.
Is it the people of Gibeon who are doing this? Doing a ruse?
I think that's the idea.
I think so.
Can we back up and
Yeah.
start from there again?
It just says, okay, but when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and to Ai, they also resorted to a ruse and went and made as if they had been ambassadors. Okay? And they took old sacks on their donkeys. Well, I don't know what that means. And wine skins, like
Yeah.
What?
Wineskins.
Like
Like a wineskin.
Like a canteen, like a bag canteen,
Oh,
but you have
yeah.
wine in it.
Yeah. Okay.
The best
yeah.
kind of
I've
canteen.
seen- Totally. Okay, so wineskins, old and torn and bound up, and old and patched shoes on their feet, and old garments on them, and all the bread of the provision was dry and was become moldy.
Oh.
Ew.
So they're like pretending that they're really down on their luck, that they're having a hard time, I guess.
I see. Okay, yeah. All right, so they went to Joshua and to the camp at Gilgal and said to him and to the men of Israel, "We are come from a far country. Now therefore make you a covenant with us." The men of Israel said to the Hivites, I know, "What if you dwell among us, and how shall we make a covenant with you?" They said to Joshua, "We are your servants." Joshua said to them, "Who are you, and from whence come you?"
Why do you smell like moldy bread?
Yeah, exactly. Get out of here, man.
Okay, so not
They
that they're
s-
down on their luck, but that they're from very far away.
They're disguising themselves.
Okay.
Yeah,
pretending
they're
they've come from a long, long
ambassadors.
way. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, they said to him, "From a very far country, your servants are come because of the name of Yahweh your God. For we have heard the fame of him and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the 2 kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon, king of Heshbon, and to Og, king of Bashan, who was at Ashtaroth. Ashtaroth, yes. Our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spoke to us, saying, 'Take provisions in your hand for the journey, and go and meet them, and tell them we are your servants, and now make you a covenant with us.'" Okay, which is exactly what they
So
just
that's
did.
that's their cover story.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's their
guess
cover
so.
story. Okay, got
Their
it.
elders said do this, so they did it. So, okay.
Okay.
This is our bread we took hot for our provisions out of our houses on the day we came forth to go to you. But now, behold, it is dry and is become moldy.
They're like, look at this bread. Look at it. Look at how dry
was
and
good,
moldy
but
it
it's
is. Like,
disgusting.
Trust
Yeah, we
us.
can't eat it.
See,
They're a little too proud of their cover story.
We didn't throw it out or anything for any reason. We just thought we'd keep it so we could show you.
Exactly. And these wineskins which were filled were new, and behold, they are torn. And these are garments. Like, look, they're torn. What? And these are garments, and our shoes are become old by reason of the very long journey.
Definitely not because we scraped them on some rocks and made holes in them.
Yeah,
Definitely 'cause of
exactly.
the
It
journey.
must be because of the journey. Exactly. The men took of their provision and didn't ask counsel at the mouth of Yahweh. Joshua made peace with them and made a covenant with them to let them live, and the princes of the congregation swore to them. It happened at the end of the 3 days after they had made a covenant with them that they heard that they were their neighbors,
Oh.
and that they lived among them.
Heard from whom?
So who is this?
Yeah, who's gossiping?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just
That's a good question. I have
people,
no idea.
you know, someone maybe after it worked, after they got the covenant, they were like, "Ooh, yeah, so we actually just live right over that hill there."
Oh, you think they gave themselves away? I
You
guess
know,
it would make
just
sense.
drinking at the
Oh,
tavern
geez.
or
Oh,
something.
if they were just like so proud of their cover story, it would make sense. They'd be
Yeah.
also not very good spies.
Oh, I
Exactly.
see.
This is the theme of this book so far. Joshua, not very good spies.
Terrible sky. Yeah,
The
exactly.
terrible spies. I like that.
The children of Israel journeyed and came to their cities on the 3rd day. Now, their cities were Gibeon and Sepharah. No, what does it say? Chephirah. Shephariah. Like Mariah, but with a shepherd in front of it.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like Hefira or something.
Yeah, it's
if
probably
it should be a
Hefera.
sound. Yeah,
Oh,
Shephirah.
all
I
right.
don't know. I have no
And-
idea.
Yeah, I don't either. So Shephirah and Beeroth and Kirath Jearim. Whatever that is. The children of Israel didn't strike them. That's nice of them, because the princes of the congregation had sworn to them by Yahweh and the God of Israel. All the congregation
Just
murmured against...
Yahweh, the God of Israel, not Yahweh and the God of Israel. Those are the same
No.
person.
Sorry, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Yahweh, the God of Israel, not, yeah. I guess he is, the God of Israel, yes. All the congregation murmured against the princes, But all the princes said to all the congregation, we have sworn to them by Yahweh, the God of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. This we will do to them, and let them live, lest wrath be on us, because of oath which we swore to them. The princes said to them, let them live, so they became woodcutters and drawers of water to all the congregation, as the princes had spoken to them. Okay.
Okay,
So it worked out for them.
but I guess the middle ground was they kind of have to do all this manual labor.
Maybe that was their trade already. We don't know.
Maybe they're happy
Their
to do
trade
that.
is in drawing water. They're professional
okay.
water drawers.
Okay.
Okay, I guess it is, to be fair, it is probably like, this is probably a sweet deal compared to the Israelites come and destroy all your cities.
Probably,
Yeah, that's true. Killing all of you and your women and children and burning your city to the ground, I suppose. Yes. Okay.
It's probably a better deal for sure. Joshua called for them, and he spoke to them, saying, why have you deceived us, saying we are very far from you when you dwell among us? What?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
why did you do this trick?
Joshua's trying to call him out.
Oh, so they know now? How did they know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember Josh heard through the rumor mill.
That's literally what we
Oh,
just
that
read.
was. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that that's what it was saying. I see. Okay.
What'd you think that it was saying?
I don't know. I don't know what I thought. 3 days and made a covenant. Yeah. Oh, that they heard that they were their neighbors and they lived among them. Yeah. It just that wasn't incredible. Okay. It just says it happened at the end of 3 days after they had made a covenant with them that they heard they were their neighbors and that they lived among them. So I guess meaning like that they were their neighbors before and now they're
Yes.
here. I see. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought
it's possible. It's possible that the 3 days later is because of these princes showing up to the cities and going, "Oh, these are those cities that we made that covenant with. They're like right here. I guess we can't hurt them because we made that covenant." Maybe that's how he found out. Because then it makes
Yeah.
sense that right after that is when Joshua goes, "Dude, what's teal? You're right there."
Yeah, it just wasn't 100% clear, and I thought that it meant by neighbors, like that they were neighbors in that city, but not that they were neighbors of a different city.
So
if
you
that
meant like
makes
neighbors
sense.
in the suburbs?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like we're all living here in Israel or whatever, and we're neighbors. And we're neighbors. Like, obviously we're neighbors. So, yeah, that's what I thought that it meant.
That'd be a much harder con to pull off. That like literally as soon as they walked into the camp with their moldy bread and shoes and stuff, is that
They're
the
like,
person would be
wait a minute.
Hey, you've lived next to me in the same tent for the last 20 years. What are you doing?
It was mostly just that, like, they were now neighbors is what I thought that they meant. Like, they're neighbors because now they live among them. But not that they were
Oh, I
neighbors
see.
before.
No.
I see.
That's
Yeah.
where my head
Got it.
went.
Yes.
Yes.
Neighboring cities. Got it.
Yeah. I got it now. Thanks. Okay. So, all right. Now, okay. So Joshua called to them and he spoke to them saying, why have you deceived us, saying, we are very far from you when you dwell among us? Now, therefore, you are cursed and you shall never fail to be out of your bondservants. Whoa, calm down, bro.
Oh.
Both woodcutters and drawers of water for the house of my God. They answered Joshua and said, because it was certainly told your servants how that Yahweh your God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore we were sore afraid for our lives because of you and have done this thing. Now behold, we are in your hand, as it seems good and right to you to do to us. Do. What? It seems, okay,
Yeah.
to do to us, do. So did he to them. This translation, I just can't. Okay. So did he to them and deliver them out of the hand of the children of Israel that they didn't kill them. Oh, that's nice. Okay.
Yeah. No, he was true to his word.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, kind of enslaved them, but at least
Yeah,
didn't kill them.
enslaved but not killed. That day Joshua made those woodcutters and drawers of water for the congregation and for the altar of Yahweh to this day in the place which he should choose. Okay, that was a weird chapter.
So I guess to this day, meaning that at the time that the people were then telling this story and writing it down, it's like, so that's why this whole like cast of people work these woodcutting.
So that's
and
why it's
water
okay to
drawing
still treat them
jobs.
like shit.
Right, because really, like, we did them a solid by not killing them.
By
so
not
really
killing
they
them,
owe
sure.
us.
Really, they should be grateful.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little troubled by this
Okay.
whole
Well,
development.
I'm troubled by many things in this book, but here we are.
True.
You really got to pick your battles with being troubled in this book.
Okay. It's just this is like, I guess, base level troubling. Then.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Joshua 10.
Ooh.
Now it happened when Adoni-Zedek.
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 It's a very sci-fi kind of name.
It really
I like
is.
it.
I like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like, it definitely sounds like an alien race. When
That's right.
Adoni-Zedek, king of Jerusalem, heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, as he had done to Jericho and her king, so he had done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them, that they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all the men of it were mighty. Therefore, Adoni-Zedek, king of Jerusalem, sent to Hoham.
Oh, Ham.
That's pretty good.
Hoham, king of Hebron, and to Piram, king of Jarmuth, and to Japhia, king of Lachish,
Whoa.
and to Debir,
Dubbers.
Stop, Harris.
and to Debers, king of Eglon, saying, Come up to me and help me, and let us strike Gibeon, for it has made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel.
Oh, that's not the direction I thought that was going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Therefore,
So they've heard that Gibeon's now on Israel's side, and they're
Yep.
like, we're going to crush them then instead of going against Israel.
Yeah, that's surprising.
specifically?
I think everyone's
Okay,
scared of
yeah.
Israel at this point.
seems that way.
Yeah.
Therefore, the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, gathered themselves together and went up, they and all their hosts, and encamped against Gibeon and made war against it. The men of Gibeon sent to Joshua to the camp to Gilgal, saying, Don't slack your hand from your servants. Come up to us quickly and save us and help us, for all the kings of the Amorites that dwell in the hill country are gathered together against us. So Joshua went up from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. Yahweh said to Joshua, Don't fear them, for I have delivered them into your hands.
Oh.
There shall not a man of them stand before you.
Is it
Yeah?
just always that Yahweh is delivering all these people into Joshua's hands or whomever's hands? It's like, don't worry about it. I put him there for this to happen. It's like
Seems that way.
it's like that whole thing of like God has a plan, like God, this is part of God's plan
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
We have to
Yeah,
give
I
you a
would
bunch
say
of
so, yeah.
trials and can't make your life easy. I've got a plan for other stuff to happen, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any exceptions, and the only one I can think of was after the 10 were bad and 2 were good. Then Yahweh was like, y'all are going to wander in the wilderness and won't be able to take it. And then after that, some people were like, no, we're going to go fight some people. And they got beaten. And Yahweh was like, nope, I told you not to. What are you doing? But-
What are you doing?
Yeah. But it seems like every other time it is like the theme is Yahweh being like, don't be afraid. And they're like, but we're afraid.
Yeah.
And
Then
that's-
he's like, I'm going to give you something to be afraid of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like,
exactly.
ah!
So,
Oh God.
yeah, basically. Let's see. Joshua, therefore, came on them suddenly, for he went up from Gilgal all the night. Oh, such guerrilla tactics.
Okay.
Yahweh confused them before Israel, and he killed them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them by the way of the ascent of Beth Horon, and struck them to Azekah and to Makkedah.
Wait, who is it that he's
Okay, wait.
killing?
The other kings of the Amorites who
Okay.
showed up to fight the city of Gibeon.
Cool.
This is weird because it's like everything else, like we've gotten all this detailed account
Yeah,
of
exactly.
the strategy and
It's
what's
like-
going on, and all of a sudden now it's just like, and then
They did.
in a real confusing way, he totally beat them.
A confusing way that I really can't describe or put into words,
It was
really.
so
You just gotta
confusing.
trust
Uh-huh.
me. It's fine.
Yeah.
It happened as they fled from before Israel while they were at the descent of Beth Horon that Yahweh cast down great stones from the sky on them to Azekah, and they died. They were more who died with the hailstones than they whom the children of Israel killed with the sword. So this is
Whoa.
more of like magical hail slash
Crazy
stones.
giant hail, like baseball sized hail.
Also could have been an eruption.
That's a lot of eruptions. That's a lot of eruptions.
That's
Just
so.
I
volcanoes are
think it's
going
hail.
crazy these days.
But I think it's much more likely that people would die from rocks falling down in an eruption than just from hail.
Maybe if it's big hail.
I feel like if there's a volcanic eruption, like the bigger deal is not just the rocks falling from the sky, but the freaking like lava running
But if you're
down
at a
the hill.
distance, far away from the lava,
Maybe.
you can still be affected.
Wonder if we might be able to do a little research in the bonus on that.
Yeah.
Which one it is.
All right. Then spoke Joshua to Yahweh in the day, when Yahweh delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand you still on Gibeon. You, moon,
What?
in the valley of Aijalon.
Wait, is he talking to like the planets?
Oh,
Like
no. I remember this. I remember this story. Let me keep reading.
Okay.
The sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the nation had avenged themselves of their enemies. Isn't this written in the book of Jashar?
I don't
The
know.
sun
Is it?
stayed in the midst of the sky and didn't hurry to go down about a whole day. There was no day like that before it or after it that Yahweh listened to the voice of a man, for Yahweh fought for Israel. Yes, I remember this now of when God made the sun stay in the sky so they could fight longer.
In the daytimes.
Yes. I don't know what the book of Jashar is. I have no idea about that.
Yeah.
Wait,
okay. I'm
Joshua
definitely gonna look all that up.
Made him do this?
Joshua
Was
what
the one
did
who
he
was like,
do?
Oh yeah.
He-
Then Joshua spoke to Yahweh.
yeah.
Oh.
And he said, in the sight of Israel, Son, stand you still on
Oh.
Gibeon. And then Yahweh did it. Wow.
Jeez.
And this
Yahweh
is
was
saying
like,
never
cool.
again.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
Yahweh
it was
was like,
just the once.
you know what? We're not going to do that again. But thanks. Thanks
Yeah.
for trying. Yeah.
Huh.
Huh.
Interesting.
Don't expect that to happen again.
Yeah,
'cause
don't
Okay.
expect too much.
Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, to the camp to Gilgal. These 5 kings fled and hid themselves in the cave at Makkedah. It was told Joshua, saying, The 5 kings are found, hidden in the cave at Makkedah. Joshua said, Roll great stones to the mouth of the cave, and set men by it to keep them. But don't stay. Pursue after your enemies, and strike the hindmost of them. Don't allow them to enter into their cities, for Yahweh your God has delivered them into your hand. It happened when Joshua and the children of Israel had made an end of killing them with a very great slaughter.
Jeez. Yikes.
Jeez. Until they were consumed, and the remnant which remained of them had entered into the fortified cities, that all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. None moved his tongue against any of the children of Israel. What do you think that means? Can we see,
Didn't talk bad about him?
Yakety yak, don't talk back.
can we see what the message says?
Oh, that's where that song comes from.
There you
It's
go.
a biblical song.
Exactly.
The whole army then returned intact to the camp and to Joshua at Makkedah. There was no criticism that day from the people
well.
of Israel.
Wow,
Okay.
amazing. That's a first.
Oh, yeah, that's a big change from Moses'
Uh-huh.
time.
They're
where people
grumbling all
were-
the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they know better now.
Then said Joshua, Open the mouth of the cave, and bring forth those 5 kings to me out of the cave. They did so, and brought forth those 5 kings to him out of the cave, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon. It happened, when they brought forth those kings to Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said to the chiefs of the men of war who went with him, Come near, put your feet on the necks
Whoa.
of these kings.
Wait, who's putting their feet on the necks?
Joshua called for all the men of Israel and said to the chiefs of the men of war who went with him, Come near, put your feet on the necks of these kings.
Like stand on them, I think. Stand on the neck, the head, the
Yes.
shoulders of
Or like
kings.
hold them
Yeah.
down?
The necks.
do you think?
Oh no, I was thinking they were like they lie them down
Oh,
on the
I
ground.
think I
and-
think they're
Yikes.
lying down and putting
Okay.
their. Do you think they're gonna kill? Or do you think this is more of a symbolic thing of submission?
I'm gonna vote for killing.
You
I
think
we're
so?
gonna kill him.
What do you think, Emily?
Yeah, definitely. They're gonna murder the heck out of them. Cut off their heads or something.
They came near and put their feet on the necks of them. Joshua said to them, Don't be afraid, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage, for thus shall Yahweh do to all your enemies against whom you fight. Afterward, Joshua struck them and put
Oh,
them to
of course.
death and hanged them on
Oh,
5
okay.
trees.
Nailed it.
Yikes.
And they were hanging on the trees until the evening. Well, yeah, you called it.
But you can't
No.
leave them overnight because it's too
Yes.
spooky. as Yahweh
Yeah.
commanded.
It happened at the time of the going down of the sun that Joshua commanded, and they took them down off the trees and cast them into the cave in which they had hidden themselves, and laid great stones on the mouth of the cave to this very day.
Wow. That was a lot.
Joshua took Makkedah on that day and struck it with the edge of the sword and the king of it. He utterly destroyed them and all the souls who were therein. He left none remaining. And he did to the king of Makkedah as he had done to the king of Jericho. Joshua's really just not like kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah.
Not even taking names. Doesn't even care.
Kicking butt and hanging on trees, as the saying
Let it
goes.
out.
Jeez.
Yikes.
Joshua passed from Makkedah and all Israel with him to Libnah and fought against Libnah because that's what we do these days.
We just fight and pillage and take everything.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
And Yahweh delivered it also, and the king of it, into the hand of Israel, and he struck it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls who were therein. He left none remaining in it, and he did to the king of it as he had done to the king of Jericho.
Of course.
Joshua passed from Libnah and all Israel with him to Lachish, and encamped against it, and fought against it. Oh, here we go. And Yahweh delivered Lachish into the hand of Israel, and he took it on the second day, and struck it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls who were therein, according to all that he had done to Libnah.
So all of
Every
them?
single person.
Yeah, exactly.
All of them.
What? Good Lord.
Oh, we still got more to go.
I'm sure.
Is this just going to be like one after another?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
do
gotta
we need
keep
to
drinking for the
drink it?
repetition.
Yeah, we're just
Yes,
drinking
you do.
constantly.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then Horam.
Horam.
I thought he was Hoham.
Hoham. This is a
I
different
thought he was
guy.
Hoham. Oh,
Was
yes.
Hoham was one of the ones we killed,
Hoham was
right?
one of the 5 kings. You're right. Okay. Then Horam, king of Gezer, came up to help Lachish, and Joshua struck him and his people until he had left him none remaining. Joshua passed from Lachish and all Israel with him to Eglon, and they encamped against it and fought against it, and they took it on that day and struck it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls who were therein he utterly destroyed that day, according to all that he had done to Lachish.
Drink.
That was like clear repetition. Same as we did to the last one.
Joshua went up from Eglon and all Israel with him to Hebron, and they fought against it, and they took it and struck it with the edge of the sword, and the king of it, and all the cities of it, and all the souls who were therein. He left none remaining, according to all that he had done to Eglon, but he utterly destroyed it, and all the souls who were therein. Keep drinking.
Oh boy. Yep. Here we go.
Just keep drinking.
Just keep drinking. Just nonstop here.
Joshua returned, and all Israel with him to Debir, and fought against it. Debir, and he took it, and the king of it, and all the cities of it, and they struck him with the edge of the sword, and utterly destroyed all the souls who were therein. He left none remaining, as he had done to Hebron. So he did to Debir, and to the king of it, as he had done to Libnah, also to Libnah, and to the king of it.
What if eventually, like right at the end, just to kind of fake us out, it'll
Just
be
a
like,
random
and then he
thing.
killed everyone but 6. Left those
He
to
kept
run
6
away.
people alive just for the heck of it because, why
Or what if
not?
at the end of it, it was like, and this place is totally hand him in his ass.
Oh
and
yeah, put
it
him in his place.
really, really caught us all off guard, and we had to sit and think about it for a little while.
Yeah.
So Joshua struck all the land, the hill country, and the south, and the lowland, and the slopes, and all their kings. He left none remaining, but he utterly destroyed all that breathed. Gosh, Joshua.
Jeez.
As Yahweh, the God of Israel, commanded. Joshua struck them from Kadesh Barnea, even to Gaza, and all the country of Goshen, even to Gibeon. All these kings and their land did Joshua take at one time, because Yahweh, the God of Israel, fought for Israel. Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, to the camp at Gilgal. That's the end of the chapter.
Gilgal.
Wow. Gilgal.
That's a lot of destruction.
Yeah, it
A lot of
seriously.
destruction, seriously.
Gosh, but it's interesting to me that Yahweh isn't one to like take over the entire world. He's just like, no, we're gonna do part of it. We're gonna do some.
Yeah, but
and
think about
so
it. To your
thoroughly.
perception as an Israelite, this is the entire world.
I mean,
you
it's
can't
not
even
Egypt.
conceive. You can't even conceive of anything outside of this other than Egypt.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
mean, this
guess
is
you're
like
right.
Kind
Okay,
of the bed of
sure.
civilization. Yeah.
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 You don't even know that there is a world that's a globe. You don't even get that. Like,
That's
this
true.
is the whole world.
Yeah. I guess you're right. But,
Yeah.
but God, wouldn't God know that there was more out there?
Well, sure,
just
but
saying.
he's not going to tell these people. He's not
Okay.
going to tell these people. That's a need to
Jeez.
know basis.
Okay.
They don't have the security clearance for that.
I guess not.
It's above your pay grade, Joshua.
All right.
The world is flat, for all you know.
Yeah.
It,
Just keep it that way.
Okay. Yeah. Joshua 11. It happened when Jabin.
Jabin.
I like Jabon.
Jabon,
I like the
he's a
French
French king,
treatment. Yeah.
He's
It
very
happened when
French.
Jabon, king of Hazor, heard
What?
of it, that he sent to Jobab, king of Madon,
Jobab.
and to
Jobab.
the king of Shimron, and to the king of Ashraf.
Wow, what is happening
He
over
sounded
there?
like a freaking,
Good
like-
Lord.
Like Saint Bernard dog.
Seriously.
Oh, see, I was going for like Klingon there.
Oh, it's good too.
Yeah, Ashraf. This is spelled ACHSHAPH.
It's hard.
Shop.
And to the kings who are on the north, in the hill country, and in the Arabah south of Chinneroth,
Kristen Chenoweth.
Christian Chenoweth, and in the lowland, and in the heights of Dor on the west,
Also a musical.
to the Canaanite, to the Canaanite on the east and on the west,
Oh.
and the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Jebusite in the hill country, and the Hivite under Hermon in the land of Mizpah. So everyone else.
Everyone
So Jabon
everywhere.
is sending messages to all these
Jabon
people.
is like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Jabon.
They went out, they and all their hosts with them, much people. It's like that.
What much people. Okay. We're not
Very
gonna speak
force,
English.
much people.
Yeah, exactly.
So strongly. Yeah. Even as the sand that is on the seashore in multitude, with horses and chariots, very many. They're just really committing to this. Much people,
Yeah,
very
this
many.
is so very many.
So doge. All these kings met together, and they came and encamped together at the waters of Merom to fight with Israel. Okay, so they decided we're gonna like team up all of our armies together.
Yeah.
Okay. Joshua, Yahweh said to Joshua,
Very different.
guess what he said? Guess what he said?
He says, don't worry, I'm going to give them all to you. So just
Yeah,
go
we'll be
fight
good.
'em."
We'll be good.
Don't be afraid because
Yeah.
of them. For
Yeah.
tomorrow at this time I will deliver them up all slain before
All
Israel.
slain. You didn't even have to do anything.
Jeez. Yeah, that's fascinating to me that I mean, and it's true. Like, why doesn't Yahweh just like strike them down? He certainly can.
Well, that's in that same category of questions
Yeah.
of like, why doesn't Yahweh just like kill all the serial killers, or why doesn't Yahweh just tell you ahead of time, hey, this person's going to betray you? Like, it's that same category of unanswerable question, really.
But again, like Game of Thrones, you'd ask the same question of like, well, why don't, the old gods or the new do something more active? And it's like, maybe they've
They're
got,
gonna let you do your own thing.
maybe there's red tape they got to go through. There's bureaucracy and paperwork, and it's just,
Fascinating.
who knows? You shall hamstring their horses
Oh.
and burn their
Oh,
chariots
what?
with fire.
Oh.
Jeez.
that's
Oh
terrible.
God, that's an awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awful. Boo. Boo, Yahweh, boo. So Joshua came, and all the people of war with him, against them by the waters of Merom suddenly, and fell on them.
Oh.
Yahweh delivered them into the hand of Israel, and they struck them and chased them to Great Sidon and to Mesripoth-Maim, and to the valley of Mizpeh eastward. Mesripoth-Maim, and to the valley of Mizpeh eastward. And they struck them until they left them none remaining. Classic Joshua, striking till there's none left.
Obviously. Yeah.
Joshua did to them as Yahweh bade him. He hamstrung their horses and burnt their chariots with fire.
Gosh.
Joshua turned back at that time and took Hazor and struck the king of it with the sword. For Hazor before was the head of all these kingdoms. Oh, that was Jabin, the king of Hazor.
Oh, Jabon's getting his...
Hazor.
Jabon's getting his comeuppance.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oof. They struck.
I'm sorry. I'm dying.
It's too much for Emily.
Yes, it is.
They struck all
in
the
alcohol.
souls. Yeah. They struck all the souls who were therein with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There was none left who breathed. and he burnt Hazor with fire. Burning
Jeez.
just
how can you read this as a small child and not be like completely horrified?
you don't.
You don't. First of all, you don't read it, but also, second of all, if the adults tell you this is a good thing, then you're just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Right.
All the cities of those kings and all the kings of them did Joshua take, and he struck them with the edge of the sword and utterly destroyed them, as Moses the servant of Yahweh commanded. But as for the cities that stood on their mounds, Israel burned none of them, save Hazor only. That
Really?
did Joshua burn.
Why?
I don't know. All the cities that stood on their mounds. So I guess these are all the other like hill cities around.
I guess.
They didn't burn
Yeah.
those.
Maybe
So
they're like, those are the good
that's-
ones that are in a defensible space.
Yeah, had good architecture. And
Yeah, and so
There's-
yeah.
We went to a place in Beijing that had like a sacred mound. It was like near the Temple of Heaven, and then like there was this other place that had like a little mound, and people were taking pictures on top of the mound.
like a little
and yeah,
mound.
It was, really
was it
little,
like a
but it was.
burial mound? Because that's a thing many cultures
I don't
do.
know. No, you walked up these like cool steps and then stood on the mound and then took pictures on the mound. But the mound itself was small, but the steps were large, so
Okay.
it was circular. I don't know, but anyways, maybe mounds are significant in many places. Religions,
I think
whatever.
so. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's unclear here whether these are like big hills or these are just mounds. I don't know. But I don't
Yeah.
know. But he didn't burn any of those except for Hazor. That did Joshua burn. All the spoils of these cities and the cattle the children of Israel took for a prey to themselves, but every man they struck with the edge of the sword until they had destroyed them. Neither left they any who breathed. So I
course.
guess they killed the people too, the women and children, I guess.
You have to, right? If
Do
you,
they
if you
mean
breathe
man,
air,
like
Yeah, any who breathed.
yeah?
Okay.
Well, they say every man, but I think that means like human.
But yeah, like the spoil of the cities and the cattle, the children of Israel took for a prey to themselves. So I think aside from that, everyone's dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
probably.
As Yahweh commanded Moses his servant, so did Moses command Joshua, and so did Joshua. He left nothing undone of all that Yahweh commanded Moses. So they're really driving home this
Joshua's just like standing like on top of a mountain, just like, I am the king of the world, and,
Yeah.
like freaking out.
screaming with like rivers of
Seriously.
blood, like flowing
Seriously.
around him.
Yeah, just like totally, yeah, exactly, like thunderbolts clashing behind him.
I like this.
Anyways.
This will be good for our movie, I think.
I do like him very like He-Man, Conan the
yeah.
Barbarian style, like
Okay.
wearing very little clothing and just raging
Oh
out
yeah, absolutely.
constantly.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Just destroying and killing everyone, just like raging. Right. Okay,
Yeah,
so
totally.
So Joshua took all that land, the hill country and all the south, and all the land of Goshen, and the lowland, and the Arabah, and the hill country of Israel, and the lowland of the same, from Mount Halak that goes up to Seir, even to Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon under Mount Hermon. And all their kings he took, and struck them, and put them to death.
Yep.
Joshua made war a long time with all those kings.
Yes, he did.
It seemed like it was
A
just
very
one day
long
after
time.
another, but
Well, there's a lot of kings to get through, apparently.
I guess so, yeah. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, save the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. They took all in battle.
Jeez.
For it was of Yahweh to harden their hearts, to come against Israel in battle, that he might utterly destroy them, that they might have no favor, but that he might destroy them as Yahweh commanded Moses.
Oh, is that the same weird narrative that we got with Pharaoh, with
Yeah.
Yahweh hardening Pharaoh's heart,
So that he can
so
mess
that
it
there's
up.
yeah.
so that there's more resistance, so that he can mess them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird. I wonder if that was just sort of like a common turn of phrase at that point.
Harden the heart? Or what?
That Yahweh hardened their hearts as just sort of a general sentiment for meaning like, oh, they were stubborn or something. I don't know.
yeah.
There was none of the Anakim left in the land of the children of Israel, Duvakin,
Yeah, exactly. Dovahkiin.
And the Anakim were the angel, the half-breed
No.
aliens,
Were
right?
They? No.
Yeah, I think that
Oh.
was the Anakim Skywalkers, right?
Were they? The Avakim?
Anakim
Anakim?
or Avakim?
Avakin life?
Yeah, Anakim. Yeah, the race
What's
of giants.
the Dovahkiin?
They were just-
Oh yeah, Skyrim.
Novocaine?
Novocaine.
Dovahkiin.
Yeah, Duvahkiin.
No, the Anakim were giants.
But I think they were the ones who were descended from the angels.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Who knows? We could look it up later.
I thought they started with like a C.
The Kalimaz.
Golly, man.
The Nephilim. The Nephilim.
Nephilim.
That's what you're
okay.
thinking of, the
Okay,
Nephilim.
so the Anakim were
Oh.
just giants
Yeah.
in the sky.
Oh.
There was none.
Of course.
Yeah, I had to
God.
give up.
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
Cannot get through
Sorry.
a single
Hey,
episode
you-
of DBS
you
without
know what-
some kind of musical reference.
You freaking handed it to me, so
I
I
did.
don't want to hear it, okay?
True. There was none of the Duvahkiin left in the land of the children of Israel. Only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod did some remain. So other places, they still were there. So Joshua took the whole land, according to all that Yahweh spoke to Moses, and Joshua gave it for an inheritance to Israel according to their divisions by their tribes. The land had rest from war.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa, that's the end of that?
Really? Did it? Okay. I'll believe it when I see it, but sure.
Oh no. Oh no.
What?
Okay,
What?
here's my prediction.
Uh-oh.
Now that this period of peace is going on, it's going to be more laws.
Yeah.
It's going to be more
Oh,
laws.
you think more laws?
Yeah, I think now it's Joshua's turn to be
Great.
like, all right, I've
All
thought
right.
of some more things.
Let's from the top again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do we got a couple things to talk about, though.
Oh man.
Maybe.
I guess
That's-
that's true.
it's
It
gotta be,
feels
right?
impossible to me that they would stop warring.
There will be even more.
Surely that's got to be a fake out there. Like the land had peace for more, and then Joshua got bored and was like, you know what? This isn't good enough. We need more.
I need more. It's possible that we'll have a time jump as well.
Oh,
You know?
how far?
Well, it's going to
yeah.
be during Joshua's lifetime, so it can't be that far. But, you know, Joshua's just started leading the people, right? Kicking butt right away. But I think there's going to
Totally.
be, my prediction is there's going to be laws and rules that Josh makes up. And then maybe a little more war or our other favorite move, which is the Israelites being disobedient and then Yahweh
Oh,
making their
well,
lives shitty.
Of course that's going to happen.
Yeah, we
that's
gotta have
just
that.
that's destined to happen. I'm curious to look up. We can look this up in the bonus content, but like how much time does this take to defeat all the land?
Yeah, let's look
You know,
that
the
up.
way
a
we
great
read
question.
it feels like it took
Yeah.
a week, but it's got to be like
I know.
was
It's
this
like 7 days.
yeah, was this 50
They done.
years?
They're good.
You know,
Right,
was
yeah.
it because we had to travel to all these places? Like I don't know. You know, I'll write that down. For us to
Yeah,
look
and
up
like
for the
how
bonus.
far are they really from each other?
Yeah, that too.
Right? Like, when they say neighbors, is it like neighbors meaning like a week-long hike, or neighbors like you can throw a rock to their city?
Right.
Okay, lots of fun stuff to look up.
Goodness. Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including ad-free episodes, early releases, personal toasts on the show, and more, you can become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. Find us on Twitter at DrunkBibleCast, on Instagram at DrunkBibleStudy, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Emily Matlack, Jace Lindgren, and me, Dedeker Winston. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.